All right, we are joined by the Chantilly Boys varsity basketball team. Coach, would you mind introducing yourself and the players next to you?
Hello, my name is it on?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hello, my name is Rodney Carmichael. I'm the head boys varsity basketball coach at Chantilly High School. Going into my 6th season here, and I have 3 of our core representatives, Vavon Desai, Mateo Alvaredo Gallego, and Jaden Wade here. And I think we are embarking on a turning point in our program. It's been some lean years for the first 5 years, but now we are at a point in our program where we have an abundance of talent at the lower levels, our feeders, freshmen and JV, and these 3 guys and some of the reserves coming off of 2 tough games are ready to take on the challenges that we have in front of us for the season.
Thank you, Coach, and we appreciate your time to be here today. The season's young. You said it's your 6th season, correct? You guys are – sounds like you're getting ready to finally take that hump or get over the hump and, play late February basketball into March, hopefully, of course. What about this team, despite the season being so young, gives you that confidence that this group can do that?
I was telling my wife probably about a month ago that coming off of team camps in June, the fall season where we had several team camps and some fall league games, this has been my most connected team in my 6 years at this point in the season. Previous years, we've had teams that were connected, but they didn't get connected until late, like maybe mid-January, early February. Going into a season, this has been the most connected team that we've had. When I say connected, I'm talking about the accountability, the communication, the talking, the adjustments. We as coaches on the staff, we have to do less coaching and just more reminders and teaching and talking. And that's a tremendous asset, especially when you have a senior like Vavon who is vocal. I haven't always had vocal seniors, and he's very vocal, and he's very demanding, he's very talkative, and he's a true attachment of me on the floor, and that helps in so many different aspects.
And players, are you guys all returners?
Yeah.
Okay. So kind of the same question, but Coach mentioned your connectedness. Can you guys just speak about the connection of this year's team in comparison to years past, and why you feel confident again that you guys can play basketball?
Yeah, definitely. So previous years we've definitely had talent here at Chantilly, but we haven't always like linked up together well. And I feel like this year it's more about like everyone that's on the team, on the floor, we're super unselfish and we're really bought into the program. So we try to do like the best for the program necessarily, and we're not always looking out for ourselves, but we're playing for each other.
Over the summer, half of the team, we would work out in the mornings. We would do a bunch of hill workouts, track workouts, sand workouts, and it really brought us together because that grind, that struggle brought us all together, and it's just us all being together would eventually lead to the unselfishness, and we're all going to the same goal, which is win, and we don't care how we get there, who scores the most. We just want to win and get as far as possible.
I think we're all really close as friends together. Rather it's just going to get food or hanging out, watching some basketball. We're all closely together, and we just feel like we have a really good shot to win, all of us. And if we can do that together, then that's the best capability possible.
Absolutely. Dwight Vick with Victory Life. How you guys doing? You're 1-1 on the season. You had a tough, close loss to Woodson, which is a program that was in states just last year, and they lost to South Lakes. So if you can lose, there's no moral victories you're celebrating, but to lose 57, I believe 51, to be that close, what did you learn from that loss? Because we learn more from our losses. We learn from our wins, but we learn more from our losses. To the coaches and players, what did you learn from that loss?
As a coach, the goal going into this season was to load the schedule up with as much talent and difficulty as possible. So Woodson was a gift from the Fairfax schedulers because it's, our turn to play that region or that district, and most of the teams in that district. But the rest of the schedule, I purposely, intentionally set out to put these guys up against the greatest talent that I could find that was willing to play us. So, we have Episcopal on the schedule for next Saturday. We have Pope John Paul coming in. We just played Seton, another private school, on Thursday where we
And
got-
won.
and won in overtime. And throughout June, team camps, throughout fall, that's all I search for. Our district is not the Sisters of the Poor. We have Madison, we have South Lakes, Westfield, who's probably going to be a regional semifinal team. That's who we face, twice in the season, at home and away, and throughout the conference. So in order for me to get ready for that and to reach the goals that we have set for these guys, we had to find the toughest possible beast. They say iron sharpens iron. The only way we know how to do that is we don't duck anybody and go get it. And these guys, they welcome the challenge. We put a lot on their plate, the accountability, the standard, the expectation, and they rise every single time. And so to me as a coach, it doesn't matter if I'm 0-13 in December. What matters is what we do come January and February to reach those goals. And I think that these guys, everything that we've asked for them to do, sometimes it could be a little absurd. They do it. They just rise to the occasion because I believe that they want the same thing that we want for the program. And that's phenomenal having young guys.
Yeah. Players, you want to talk about what you learned in that game so far?
I think the loss against Woodson actually helped us beat Seton. Cause late in the fourth quarter, I think when we brought the game back, we kind of relaxed, we kind of got comfortable, and that minute of comfortableness is what lost us the lead and lost us the lead. So when we went into Seton, our goal was, if we get into that close scenario, was just to keep the league and keep stepping on their throats and just come out with the dub without relaxing.
So something I learned from that Woodson game, it's really about what it takes to win for us. That's a game that we could have had, but it was just the little things, right? Like boxing out, grabbing rebounds. We give up too many offensive rebounds. We rebound the ball better that game. I feel like that's one we can take home. And then just lack of focus. In certain moments of the game, we lose focus, they end up going on a little run, and like that's what winning is about for us. 32 minutes, we got to be locked in. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So what I learned from the Woodson game was that, like Vaughn said, it was the little things. Like we had, I think, in total 13 missed layups. That really cost us the game if you really think about it. That's 26 points on our end. So if we make those points, yeah, sure, we might win the game. But it's also like, what do we do when we don't hit those points? What do we do defensively? Are we getting back in time? It's stuff like that. So it's like we really just have to lock in more. We gave up, I think, in the last 2 minutes, 6 points back to back. So we really just have to lock in defensively, transition. They had a lot of transition points. We got to get back, guard the threes. They had too many threes. We knew coming into the game that they were a three-point team and they couldn't beat us off twos. So we had to lock in on the threes, but we let too much up.
I can tell Coach is doing a great job with y'all because y'all gave me a lot of analytics. Y'all talked about rebounding and shooting and percentages, which is really good. Coach also mentioned your district. I used to live in Fairfax County for about 5 years in the early 2000s. Chantilly, I remember when Westfield was built and they took away from Centerville. You guys are in a very tough part of Fairfax. You talk about Madison. I watched them last night on NFHS against Battlefield. They're always tough. They were in that zone, and they make you be patient on defense. And then you have Westfield. Coach Kevin's over there. He won 2 chips at Centerville, and now he's at Westfield, and they're the favorite. There's going to be some challengers. When you look at competition, this is what I do miss as a player. When you look at competition, any player can answer this. I know y'all not ducking no wreck, but at the same time, what is it like to say, hey, we're going to play these teams? I'm going to not be selfish, but I'm going to show what I bring. And what is it that each one of you bring when it comes to game time?
Yeah, so as a senior, my focus this year is bringing that leadership. If I can get the guys around me to play better, I feel like I've done my job. And obviously I have to bring my own game. Offense, defense, all that, rebounding. But yeah, I think my job right now this year is to get all these guys around me better.
Like it.
For me, I think it's kind of control the pace of the game. I feel like if I get rushed, I think everybody else gets rushed. So if I just calm down and set up the table for the rest of my guys, they have trust in me. I got trust in them. So Yeah, that's what I need to bring, the pace.
For me, I take pride in my ability to get to the basket a lot. So I try and say, like, no one person can stop me. If one person is guarding me and gets in front of me, I got to be able to get past that person. Like, they should be able to help defense. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So bring the help defense and me, like, kick it out to my open teammates where I know these two right here, they're, like, knockdown shooters when they're wide open. So we got to be able to get those open shots. And also, I got to work on my defense a little more. Like, past 2 games, I've been in a lot of foul trouble, first quarter, second quarter. So I just got to be able to lock in more, get some defensive stops without fouling.
I love that answer. That was a nice way of saying nobody can guard me.
This could be coach or players. Vic mentioned just the district you guys are in and just the nature of that, and whether it's Madison or Westfield. But are there any specific, when you look at your schedule, are there any specific games that you may have circled that, maybe you lost to them last year, left a bad taste in your mouth that you want revenge on, or is it just whoever's across the other jersey, going to play Chantilly basketball?
Well, let me just set the tone for that question. We finished no better than 4th in all 6 years. So everybody on the schedule, it doesn't matter who it is, whether we beat them last year or not, everybody on the schedule is a target. Everybody on the schedule, we expect to come out and compete. Obviously, there are going to be some games that are tougher than others, but the level of expectation and the standard is the one that we create for ourselves. It's not our opponent. Regardless of how good or how bad they are, we have certain benchmarks that we want to reach every game. These guys know what those benchmarks are. That's the goal. That's the standard. The scoreboard is going to say what it's going to say if we reach our goals and our expectations. So doesn't matter what color the jersey is on the other side of the court. We're playing to our expectation, our goals, and our standard. And what everybody else thinks about that doesn't matter.
Yes, sir. Players, this is for you guys as returners. The season's young, but it's evident that the past years are the past, and Chantilly's, they're coming this season. What's it been like kind of stepping into that leadership role as returners? Maybe for some of the guys who Coach mentioned your feeder programs, and what's it just been like stepping into that leadership role, or how have you felt yourself kind of taking that on the court coach, role for some of these younger guys who just, have not experienced basketball at this level.
So for the younger guys, especially JV and freshmen, I feel like the best way to convey to them what our program is about leading by example. So when we play these tough teams, we have these tough games, we have to go out there and perform, right? We don't want to go out there and not play to our culture, not play to our standard. Like, the best way for them to understand what we're really about is for them to see it. So I feel like that's what we take pride on, is having the younger guys come, they see us, and they experience the game, they experience what we're about.
I think our goal this season is kind of to change the culture of Chantilly basketball. The last couple of years, we lost a bunch of things. We lost games. But this year, there's no difference because we haven't played any of those games, so anything could happen. But I think it's our work ethic that we got to pass down to the JV and freshmen. We work really, really hard, and I don't think a lot of people see that. So I think if we could just get the freshmen and the JV to look up to us and see what work we've been putting in, they could see, oh, yeah, that's the work we got to put in to be like them. So then they could rise to that standard.
So every week we have Saturday practice because we can't practice on Sundays. So we invite some of the JV and freshman guys over to our practice. They get to watch. They get to see what we've been doing, and we don't take it easy on them. So that's why I feel like we have a lot of young talent, because in the practices, like, we're allowed to foul, but like, we're not allowed to kill them. You know what I mean? So we're not taking it easy. We're going at them. We're attacking them every time, running our plays, running our defense so their plays don't work against us. So it's at the same time, it's like getting both of us better by practicing with each other in the same environment.
Yeah, I love the fact that y'all do that. I always wonder why football and basketball programs don't get more inclusive with the JV and freshman team, because those guys are going to be replacing y'all one day. So I'm really impressed by that. Coach, I'm glad you also touched on the fact that you have not finished lower than fourth in a very competitive district. I knew that, but I don't think a lot of people watching this live or even people that do these podcasts know that. And it's tough because, when my son was at Patriot, they played South Lakes a few times and played Madison in the state quarterfinals. And I was like, man, this Madison team makes you work on defense. When you talk about Chantilly basketball and how you never finished lower than fourth, kind of in your own words, and if the players want to chime in, you can. What is Chantilly basketball for those watching that may not know?
Well, I understand the dynamic of my population. What we have to do is we have to make sure that we are building year round. I don't have a lot of tremendous individual talent coming into my school, even at the lower levels. So the work has to be done. We have to focus on our fundamentals. We have to focus on our shooting. We have to focus on those building blocks, the foundation to a great season in the off season. So what we're a year-round, hard-working program. And what does that mean for freshmen coming into my school? Well, mom and dad's got to understand, if you want to play basketball, this is, with the exception of July and August, we're year-round. We're 10 months, okay? And now it doesn't mean that you can't play another sport. It doesn't mean that you can't go be a kid and have fun. It just means that if you want to get in the gym, you want to get better, you have a passion for this game, we're here. We will support you, and we will provide those opportunities for you. For these guys, because of the district and the conference that we play in, and everybody else is a year-round program, we kind of have to step up. So we play together. The ball moves. We defend. We shoot. We have our own way of eking out wins, okay? We don't have to deal with the 6'8" monster that's at South Lakes anymore. So we have
Jordan.
We have, Jordan Scott. So it's a race for, first or second right now in our district. Obviously, Westfield is the penciled-in favorite, but everybody else, we're competing and we're fighting right now. And I tell these guys all the time, once you establish yourself, once you create the identity, then we can go from there. Previously, I've always had 2, 3, maybe 4 guys that could play, and then the other 7 or 8, you look down the bench, it's a lonely sight because I didn't have much else coming off the bench where everybody else may have had 7, 8, 9. You know what I mean? And so anytime you get in foul trouble, anytime somebody gets the flu, anytime somebody gets sick, it's hard. And we barely could score 45, 47 points. Everybody else is averaging 60. But what do I have to do as a coach? I have to increase the ability of my lower levels. I have to increase the talent and the skill set of my lower levels. These two came in as freshmen. They played JV right away because they had the ability to contribute on the JV level. I would have stifled their growth if I put them on freshmen. So then now, last year, Mateo and Jaden played varsity as sophomores, and they cut their teeth. That's the type of progression that we need. That's the type of progression that allows us now to build from a solid foundation, talent base, and continue to compete at our level. The other schools, they're continuing to get better. When nobody's waiting on us, so we have to kind of initiate that and kind of just take ownership of, 1, how do we want to be as a program? 2, how do we want to operate? And the buy-in. I need buy-in from parents. I need buy-in from players. But I'm not going to, sell them short. This is what we have to do. This is what we do. And like Jaden spoke of, freshmen, we have some key freshman players and some key JV players. They're invited to practice on Saturday. It's a 3-hour practice on Saturday. And they come in and they understand, hey, this is what varsity basketball is like. And I don't allow them to take it easy on the young kids, and the young kids got to know it's physical, it's hard. You got to make the sprints the same way these guys got to make the sprints. And if you don't make it, I don't care if you're on the team or not. If any of the freshmen in JV don't make it, we back on the line. We're doing it again. If you showed up on Saturday, I expect you to meet the expectation the same way they got to meet it.
That was I was gonna say that was awesome. You said 2 of the 3 here started. Was it you guys started at the freshman level here at Chantilly, right? And then
we started JV.
Oh, okay. Can you guys just talk about like your experience, kind of coming from the foundation that Coach mentioned, and then now you guys are here, key contributor to the varsity team. Coach just pretty much gave a phenomenal answer about needing a buy-in and the expectation and not taking it easy on the freshmen or the JV that are invited to play. Can you guys just kind of speak about your experience as a player, that perspective?
Yeah, so JV, my freshman year, me and Mateo really stepped in, not knowing what we were going to have to do to get onto varsity. Like me and Mateo came in yeah, we want to play varsity, but if we're not going to play, then we got to go do something else. So we really talked to the seniors that were on the team, Ivan and Amari. They gave us a lot of mentorship, and so they really told us what the goal that Carmichael had for us, what we were gonna end up doing. So yeah, it's we would come practice whenever we could, and they would go hard on us. They wouldn't, if we missed a layup, they would let us know about it. If we had to turnover, they would let us know about it. And the sprints it was rough. First week of practice, it was rough. We were dying. We were gassed. I was cramping up. It was rough.
I think the reason JV helped so much when I got moved up to varsity was it taught me how to lead a team. I've never been in a position that I was the younger guy leading the team, so it taught me how to be vocal as a leader, but also as a point guard to slow down everybody. And then I remember talking to Ivan, and he used to tell me that he used to tell 3 of the guys to go at me at practice and try and bully me at practice. And I used to get so mad at him, and I talked to him, and he told me that he meant to do that because he knew where I could be, and I wasn't at that level yet. But he was my role model. So, yeah.
Coaches, players, we appreciate your time, and personally, I know I'm excited to come check you guys out this year and see what Chantilly's got. But again, appreciate your time for coming and enjoying the NSMT experience. It means a lot to us, and best of luck this season.
Thank you.